The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Who will be the future face of Pettigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley.
And I'm Daniel Bird.
And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
In more local news, the Bowling Green Police Department received a call of a burglary that occurred in the overnight hours of April 23rd through April 24th. The victim told police that the self-storage unit on Old Louisville Road had 4 units where the locks had been cut off and the items were stolen. Officers viewed the surveillance cameras and saw a black pickup truck entering the fenced-in area and accessing the units. Utilizing business records, they determined that Chris Hagan had used a code to enter the storage facility. Now, they attempted to make contact with Hagan at his father's address, but didn't get a response. While officers were knocking on the door at his dad's, an officer saw 2 men crouching next to a black Dodge pickup truck in the driveway a couple doors down. The officers realized when the men saw them, they ran inside the house. Officers saw the black truck, which did resemble the one in the video surveillance of the storage facility. In the bed of the pickup truck, officers could see a gun case and partially covered bolt cutters. Officers immediately began the process for a search warrant for the truck in the home. They attempted to make contact with the people inside, but no one answered the door. Officers utilized a public address system asking the people in the house to come outside. So after several hours, 8 people ultimately exited the house. Officers then served the search warrant on the truck and the home. Many items were recovered along with numerous stolen firearms. 32-year-old William Christopher Hagan, 29-year-old Brian Wilkins were both arrested, charged with 1 count of burglary. Hagan was additionally charged with 2 counts of possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. Others inside the home were served with outstanding arrest warrants. A motion to disqualify Attorney General Andy Beshear's office from pursuing the lawsuit he filed to throw out the pension reform bill was denied in Franklin Circuit Court yesterday. Steve Pitt, the counsel to Governor Matt Bevin, sought to disqualify Beshear in his office because he sent a letter to each legislator warning them that Senate Bill 1, the original pension reform bill, would be the subject of lawsuits. After the revised version, Senate Bill 151, was signed into law, Beshear filed suit. Now, under the rules of professional conduct, he made the decision to advise them legally. Once he did that, our position is he crossed the Rubicon, argued Pitt. Legal advice was provided to legislators, and the Attorney General is bound by the express language of the rules, which prohibit suing someone you've given legal advice to. Now, Assistant Attorney General Latasha Buckner replied to Pitt's argument, saying in the letter to legislators, the Attorney General was very clear that he's the people's attorney and was warning the General Assembly. He was doing his duty to the Commonwealth, not political offices. Franklin Circuit Judge Philip Shepard told Pitt, it seems to me a little bit that you're trying to force a round peg in a square hole regarding a conflict of interest by the Attorney General. Pitt also testified, is the Attorney General as an attorney governed by the same rules of professional conduct like every other lawyer in the room, or does he have some sort of absolute power because of his position as Attorney General not to follow the rules? Shepard also wondered whether it was appropriate to have legislative leadership be a party to the suit, to which David Fleener, attorney for Senate President Robert Stivers, said, that's why we have not taken an official position on this. The judge denied the disqualification motion, saying that the Attorney General has acted ethically here in terms of obligations to his clients. Of course, whether he's correct legally is another question. Now, the client of the Attorney General is the people of Kentucky, and disputes the Attorney General may have with other elected disputes the Attorney General may have had with any other elected officials should in no way disqualify him from either rendering advice to public officials or from suing public officials who have taken an action that the Attorney General believes is inconsistent with constitutional or statutory obligations. Now, after the hearing, Pitt spoke to reporters. He said, "I was disappointed but not surprised by the ruling. It's very clear that a lawyer cannot provide legal advice to a person on a certain matter and then turn around and sue that same person on the same legal issue later on. This is not like Skyline Chili. You can't have it 2 or 3 different ways." Attorney General Andy Beshear issued a statement saying today's ruling recognizes that, as the Attorney General, I'm the people's lawyer. Proceeding forward, Beshear's office will file their main brief in the case later this month. The defendants have another month to file their briefs. Then the Attorney General has time to file a reply. A hearing on the merits of the case will be held in June. Shepard says he understands there is some urgency in the case since the legislation takes effect in mid-July, although some provisions don't begin until 2019. With WCLU Local News, I'm Angela Briggs. Right now it is 6:20 a.m., 51 degrees.
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Jerry Bloom. One person is dead, 2 others injured, including a Kentucky State Police trooper in Henry County.
Kentucky State Police Trooper Mickey Gonerman was called on a report of dogs running along I-71. Trooper Stephen Dyke says 2 trucks were forced to slam on their brakes to avoid a crash when
the caller and Trooper Gonerman were struck by the trailer of the box truck, pinning the caller and causing Trooper Gonerman to fall approximately 30 feet from the bridge.
The caller, John Crawford, was pronounced dead on the scene. Trooper Gonerman was taken to a hospital with critical injuries, but has since been upgraded to stable. I'm Haley Hansen.
A Kentucky judge has denied a motion filed by Governor Matt Bevin to disqualify Attorney General Andy Beshear from a pension reform lawsuit. Suzanne Duvall has the latest.
The Franklin Circuit Court judge says because there's a sense of urgency in the case, he denied the motion, saying Beshear acted ethically. But Bevin's attorney Steve Pitt tells WKYT Beshear disqualified himself when he gave legal advice to legislators before suing them on the same subject matter.
It was too late for him to go back at that point in time. This is not like Skyline Chili. You can't have it 2 or 3 or 4 ways.
An attorney on behalf of Beshear argued he was acting within his legal capacity. Beshear filed the lawsuit arguing the pension law violates the state constitution. I'm Suzanne Duvall.
A jury in Knott County is awarding a couple of former coal miners tens of millions of dollars in a case involving black lung disease. Brothers Leslie and Michael Cox claimed defective dust masks led to their disease, and the jury awarded them $67.5 million in damages. The $62.5 million is awarded in punitive damages against the 3M company. I'm Jerry Bloom.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
As a child, I can remember always being excited about going to Community Trust Bank with my parents, because I knew I was going to get a treat. It's funny, now that I'm married, have 2 kids, and just bought a new home, when it came time for a new home loan, I went to Community Trust Bank. I trust them and knew that they'd be there for me and my family, just like they were for Mom and Dad. And now with 80 locations, there's no reason to go anywhere else but Community Trust.
Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's spring in Kentucky, so make the most of it. Enjoy all Kentucky has to offer at one of our 49 state parks. Hit the fairways at one of our championship golf courses and book a room at a relaxing lodge. Explore hundreds of miles of hiking and mountain biking trails. Camp or fish at more than 30 breathtaking lakes. The adventures you can have here are endless. Plan your spring getaway now. Visit parks.ky.gov.
South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow wants you to know that if you've recently lost a loved one or if you're thinking about a pre-need monument, they're here to make the process as stress-free as possible. With plenty of examples and a multitude of custom options, South Central Kentucky Monuments has the ability to offer you exactly what you want or help steer you in the right direction based on your preferences. Let my friends David, Jerry, and Adam Jesse provide the service and craftsmanship you deserve. To learn more, visit southcentralkymonuments.com.
Local news time for WCLU is 6:25, and we have 51 degrees. In area funeral announcements this hour, Nancy Bowles Christie, age 68, of Heistville, died Wednesday at T.J. Sampson Community Hospital. A native of Barron County, she was a retired teacher at Heistville Elementary School and a member of the Heistville Baptist Church. Survivors include her husband, Roland Christie, two sons, Micah Christie and wife Sarah of Goodnight, and Morgan Christie and wife Teresa of Heistville. Four grandchildren, Henry, John Riley, Cecilia, and Katie Christie. Services for Nancy Bowles Christie will be Friday at 2 o'clock at the Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home. Burials to be in the Heistville Cemetery. Visitation begins today at 3 p.m. Alternate expressions of sympathy are suggested to the Barron County Education Foundation or to the Heart of Autism. Jerry Linda Forbes, age 75, of Horse Cave, died Tuesday at the Medical Center in Bowling Green. She was a member of the South Green Street Church of Christ and was a retired vice president financial officer of Citizens First Bank in Horse Cave. She is survived by her husband, Forbes, and Bailey Hensley. Two sisters, Bonnie Orstadius of Michigan and Janice Coble of Indiana. Services for Jerry Linda Forbes will be held at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon at the Wynn Funeral Home. Burial will follow in the Horse Cave Municipal Cemetery. Visitation begins at 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Donations in honor of Linda may be made to the charity or organization of your choice. Dennis Lane Butch Wright, age 70, of Brownsville, died Monday at Greenview Regional Hospital. He was a construction worker and a contractor and a member of the National Trap Shooting Association. Dennis left a strong legacy of family comes first and giving to others in need. He loved hunting and fishing and most of all spending time with his family. Dennis is survived by his wife of 51 years, Nellie Brooks Wright, three daughters, Laurie Folks of Kyrock, Carol Chandler of Louisville, and Deborah Cowles of Brownsville, a sister, Carolyn Sue McCauley of Peoria, 8 grandchildren, Dennis and Dawn Moore, Morgan Mistecki, Daniel Wright, Aaron and Adam Folks, Lindsay and Cody Cowles, and 3 great-grandchildren, as well as his best friend, Buddy. Services for Dennis Lane Butch Wright will be Saturday at 3 at the Grayville Funeral Home. Visitation from noon until 3 Saturday. The family would like to especially thank Pam Doyle, Tabby Doyle, and Desiree Hart, who cared for him and kept him comfortable at home while he struggled with Parkinson's disease. Alternate expressions of sympathy may be made in the form of donations in his name to St. Jude's or to the Parkinson's Research Foundation. Funeral services for Darrell Leon Cowboy Copas, age 76, of Glasgow, will be today at 3 o'clock. At Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home. Burials to be in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Services for Giles Harry Lynch, age 79, of Bowling Green, will be today at 2 o'clock at the Hardy & Son Bowling Green Chapel, with cremation to follow. Service for Rebecca June Stewart Meredith, age 68, of Grassland, will be today at 11 o'clock at the Grayville Funeral Home. Burial will follow in the Holly Springs Cemetery. Service for Debbie Jean Billa, age 51, of Horse Cave, will be at 11 o'clock today at the Patton Funeral Home's Park City Chapel, with interment to be in the Evergreen Cemetery. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day free at WCLUradio.com. No login is necessary.
Growth begins with an idea. At the People's Bank, that idea is to give you the banking service you deserve. We carry out that idea in everything we do. In fact, it's become our motto, working for you. As that idea continues to grow, let us work for you at our new location, 1300 West Main Street, opening this summer. Let us be the place where your ideas begin, where you get the banking you deserve. Come grow with us. The People's Bank, working for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Check out the deals and dollars off on the new 2018 Ram 2500. If car shopping makes you nervous, come to the home of legendary service.
TJ's
of office products.
6:31 on the button. You can set your clock by it here this morning. 52 degrees. Let's turn to local sports. On today's local high school softball schedule, Glasgow hosts Allen County Scottsville at American Legion Park. The first pitch is scheduled for 5:15. Joe Myers and Bruce Tribune will have the live coverage at 5:10 on 1490 WCLU and online at playwclu.com. Other softball action today, Barron County goes to Russellville. Caverna travels to Edmonson County. Hart County plays at LaRue County. Metcalfe County is on the road at Clinton County. And Monroe County welcomes Campbellsville. Baseball this afternoon, Glasgow hosts South Warren. Metcalfe County welcomes Clinton County. Monroe County goes to Greene County. And Allen County Scottsville entertains Russellville. The Barron County Family YMCA is having a Spring into Success membership promotion during the month of April. Receive 1/2 off of your joining fee when you sign up for a Barron County Family YMCA membership. And that's a check of local sports.
TJ Sampson, providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local health care provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
BR Tire. We're always on call and we answer the call. We know that's what keeps our loyal customers coming back season after season, year after year. With so many vying for your business, improving our service is not just a good practice, it's a necessity. From our easy to navigate website to our easy to deal with service department, we work hard to make it easy for you to choose us. No one keeps you rolling like BR Tire. On Lovers Lane in Bowling Green and West Main Street in Glasgow.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather around your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection. Best service, best friends.
The university scientists have long hypothesized, where does the magic man get his magic? The phenomenon that is the magic man is considered one of the great wonders of science. Truth be told, there is no science greater than magic. And that's why the mystery remains.
Hi, I'm Eddie Bruner, and yes, technically I am the magic man, but there's no magic to it. It's honesty, knowledge, and paying the best prices I can pay.
Well, we're trying to get into a decent weather pattern. Ray Stajic with the Weather Channel says we may be getting close.
As promised yesterday, more rain in the forecast. The steadiest rain maybe just to our south on the Kentucky-Tennessee border. A few showers around this morning and maybe a period of steadier rain this afternoon. I think that rain's going to take a little bit of time to get here. So probably mid-morning on the bulk of the rainfall starting to come on in. This afternoon does look soggy at this point, but as you go north, there'll be less rain. There's going to be a sharp cutoff. Low 60s. Overnight tonight, some partial clearing and a little cooler down close to 40 degrees. Partial clouds and sunshine tomorrow. Beautiful Friday up near 70 and a great-looking weekend. I think I started talking about this early this week. Plenty of sunshine, low 60s, and a beautiful start to the week next week and probably beyond.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all dry with a warming trend. Low 70s on Monday, upper 70s on Tuesday, low 80s by Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. The current conditions, the barometer is at 29.86. The humidity is at 92%. East winds at 3 miles an hour. No precip in the past 24, and we're at 52 at WCLU this morning. It's one of the most...
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
The last time you got your Ralphie on? What's getting your Ralphie on, you ask? When you're winning prizes and lighting up the score in the arcade, you're getting your Ralphie on. When you're dancing under the lights on roller skates, you've turned on your inner Ralphies. When you bring your coworkers to bowl in the business league, your office staff has clocked in on Ralphie's time. If you suffer from symptoms such as lack of fun, feeling bored, if you get frequent urges to act like it's your birthday, or if you're just not smiling enough, you need to go to Ralphie's. That's Ralphie's Fun Center in Glasgow. A great place for any party, event, field trip, or church group. Get your Ralphie on.
Well, we have an all-star lineup of folks who are celebrating birthdays today. Why don't we check it out? All right. First of all, today it is Josh Howard with a birthday, Patsy Bunch, Jan Gross, Allie Atwood, Emily Christian, Bob DeFries, Mary Bush, Beth Ann Neville, Retta Bullington, we understand, is 42 today. Sharon Odell, happy birthday to you. It's Carly Grace Sanders. Sydney Winiger has a birthday today. Jean Stevens is celebrating today, too. And we have the 15th wedding anniversary for Christy and Kenneth Smith. Christy and Kenneth Smith, number 15. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Online, WCLUradio.com. Up for grabs today, a delicious Dairy Queen birthday cake to somebody on the list, and an absolutely gorgeous rose from down at Greer's Florist. So be thinking, get those names turned in, and we got plenty of room on the paper and plenty of time to go before we draw for those. Birthdays and anniversaries today brought to you by Ralphie's Fun Center. In fact, fun is their middle name.
All too often, we let the bad deals that we've been handed in life consume us. You know how it is. Things don't go our way. We get angry. If it's bad enough, sometimes we get angry with God. We live with regret. We're always walking around feeling like a victim. But what if we approach life in this fashion? James chapter 1 at verse 2, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. Now, have you thought about this? How different your life would look if you took all the different challenges you found in life as an opportunity to become more godly. You think you'd be happier? You think you'd be more successful? Oh, God knows that you would be. This has been Bart Warren for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
Why do you choose the pharmacy you use? Is it because of someone you know, or is it short wait times? Highland Pharmacy has considered all of these things that make your experience at the pharmacy pleasant. With a top-notch staff of pharmacists and techs you know and trust, 2 drive-through windows, and a commitment to not making you sit and wait any longer than necessary, you can see why so many choose Highland Pharmacy, and we invite you to come see us for your next prescription. Highland Pharmacy, just over from the TJ Health Pavilion, 301 Rogers Road. Call 270-629-4300.
Okay, let me get going up here, shall we? I've got to, well, actually, hold on a second here. Before we get going, let me finish the birthdays. We just learned about Victoria Silvestri. Victoria Silvestri, who is turning 19 today. Happy 19th birthday to Victoria Silvestri. fascinating facts from our history around here, and we're going to share it as the folks at Tony Hogan Health Clinic, good folks making sure we are well and getting better and checked out and everything out at Tony Hogan. By the hard work that stands the test of time. Hang on, we're archiving.
You can feel the difference at Tony Hogan Health Clinic. Tony goes above and beyond when it comes to your health care. From opening early at 7:30 to giving his personal number to patients, just in case.
This is nurse practitioner Tony Hogan. If you're already a patient, I want to thank you. If you're not, give me an opportunity to show you the difference. I truly care about your health and well-being.
Call me, Mandy, at Tony Hogan Health Clinic, and let's get you set up with an appointment. 651-6707, or come by at the corner of North Race and Cherry Streets in Glasgow.
One of the realities of old man winter is things need repairing. But when spring comes, don't be in a rush to get your agricultural or industrial equipment back up and running. Call Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services today and get those repairs done before spring. And even if you have a smaller operation or you just need some odds and ends for your home repairs, Joseph A. Wade is here to meet those needs as well. Joseph A. Wade is located on Industrial Drive in Glasgow, family owned and operated since 1985, a Right Tool distributor.
What do you think? You ready to go down memory lane?
I say we take this thing back 100 years.
Everybody's calling us. I mean, just put some phones on the hold. Y'all wait for us. You should be able to hear the archives while you're on hold there.
Or just keep calling back over and over.
Yeah,
and over
that's
and
right.
over
We'll get you.
And over and over.
100 years ago, 1918 it was. And we've got some fascinating facts here. Actually, we have 100 years worth of facts. Thanks to the archivists like Ray Green, Ms. Gail Berry, and, of course, Sherry Wesley kind of runs the ship down there.
Right.
And just something to brag about every day. All right, 100 years ago, this was it. The Glasgow loose leaf houses have sold 12,825,032 pounds of tobacco to date, with one sale remaining. Of this, 3,912,230 pounds was dark, and 8,912,702 was burley. The average of the dark tobacco was 1641, and of the burley, it was 2587. So there you go. Early in the history of the tobacco market, it seems that the burley, which is grown specifically around here, the history of the market, that remained to be, the case. The folks always, when we would report these average sales, the daily average and all that, it was everybody wanted to know about Glasgow.
Right.
And Horse Cave, I might add. All right, so there we go to 1928. We've got an interesting story here about Mrs. Sarah E. Sarton Depp, a pioneer lady of this county, who is making her home with her son, Mr. L.P. Depp, at Elliott, Illinois. Well, I'm sure it was sad to report that Ms. Depp fell a few days ago and broke her hip. Her 85 years is against her, but her friends are hoping for a recovery.
So they're saying she's old, she probably won't recover, but everybody wishes she would.
Yeah, that's what it says. And Ray Green here is the archivist on this particular year, says Mrs. Depp died in June of 1928. So, it has been often the case, a broken hip is hard to recover from.
For sure.
Her husband was Joel Walker Depp, who died in 1889. I appreciate Ray getting a little extra detail in there, but nonetheless, reporting that she moved to Illinois and broke her hip, and that was pretty much a hard thing to recover from. All right, a couple of stories here. I have 1938 that I find that I think you will enjoy. Miss Emily Terry was crowned Miss Glasgow of 1938 in a contest sponsored by the Ladies Matinee Musicale. I didn't know they ever had a Miss Glasgow competition.
I didn't either.
But anyway, Emily Terry was the one who won. Miss Louise Smith was chosen second, and Miss Jackie Baxter was third. In the amateur contest, Mrs. Jean Payne and Charlotte Vaughn. Yeah, Mr. Robert A. back in that day went by Bobby. Bobby Lessenberry, Bobby Daugherty, Joe Latimer, John Albert Pettigo, and Winston Nunn. Now, that is an all-star local lineup, if there ever has been one.
That is one.
In 1938. Lots of talent, and, put on by the Matinee Musicale. And also, I like this story. This is a little something to think about here.
Mhm.
In 1938, this was in the Glasgow Daily Times, or it was I guess it was a weekly back then, the Glasgow Times. The story reads as follows: Evangelist Matthew Bartholomew, a well-known evangelist of the South, is going to be in charge of the evangelistic meetings, which start at the Plaza Hall on Sunday night.
Mhm.
One of his subjects will be entitled, "Will America Fight Japan?" Another, "Who will be a world dictator? Mussolini, Hitler, Stalin, or who?" That's what the evangelist here, Mr. Martin Bartholomew, was going to be speaking on in 1938. That probably stirred up a lot of folks.
I'd say so.
You know, as underneath the guise of being an evangelist, he is talking about a lot of politics there.
Mhm.
Who's going to be the world dictator? Will we fight Japan? Well, we got the answer to that one, didn't we?
I think so.
Took a little while, though, about 3 more years. All right, 1948. Here's news. This is in the Glasgow Republican. The new announcer at WKAY is a local man, John Milton Barrick from Park City. He graduated from Glasgow High School in 1942, and he served in the Air Force during the late war. And I might add, I knew him quite well, and to the point that he was a pioneer and had lots of neat ideas long before anybody else thought that they would be possible. And bringing new ideas and new ways of covering news and playing music and all that sort of stuff. But he was, at 1948, he was the new announcer, a local man, John Milton Barrick, better known as Johnny. 1958, yes. I lost 58.
That's all right.
I'll find it right now. Let me get 40.
I need my Jeopardy theme song.
Let me get 48 back where it needs to be.
Okay.
Now, in 1958, here's the news. Dr. Lewis Dickinson, the prominent Glasgow physician, was in Louisville Thursday, where he presented a paper on fungus disease of the chest
Oh, I bet that was exciting.
at a meeting of the Kentucky Trudeau Society held at the Kentucky Hotel.
There's a fungus among us.
The Trudeau Society was established in 1905 at the American Sanatorium Association, a division of the American Lung Association. It was renamed in 1938 in honor of Dr. Edward Livingston Trudeau. So Dr. Lewis Dickinson, was certainly an intelligent gentleman, helped so many folks,
Right.
had quite a bit of interest, in diseases of the chest, presenting a paper here in 1958 up in Louisville. 1968, 3 of the 5 new trustees for the city of Hinesville were sworn in Friday morning by County Judge James Gillenwater. The 3 sworn in were Tom Steen, Lewis Ferguson, and Bill Phillips. 2 others, Sam Terry and Verlin Crawford, will be sworn in at a later time. But I'm sure they'll get them sworn in, but that was just the way the news was in 1968. Trustees for the city of Hinesville. I always like that title, if you're a trustee, we are trusting you get this right. And
There
so
you go.
it makes you feel a little more than, just nonchalantly going about it. 1978, the Glasgow High School FHA Honorary Membership Award went to Jerry Harris, the principal of Glasgow High School at the time. Rita Williams was presented the Citizens Bank Hall of Fame Award. Quite the, why am I hiccuping?
I have no idea.
Quite the prestigious award to get there in 1978, to be presented as a member of the Citizens Bank Hall of Fame. That was quite an honor indeed. This day in 1988, a petition containing the names of 750 residents of Lexington Drive area was presented to the Glasgow Common Council Monday night, asking for a reduction in the speed limit on that street. Now, that's Lexington Drive, which is a long street.
Right.
And they got 750 names of folks saying, reduce that speed limit.
I wonder if they did.
Well, I mean, I think it's possible because, so much of that back in, well, a little bit before 1988, but it was more or less a country road, pretty far out there. So, but they got it reduced, I think, in 1988.
Wonder how long it took them.
Well, I don't know. They got the petition there, so, hey, we got a petition. We can't deny what the people want.
7 years later.
Here we go to 1998, some stories for you. These are all basically related, and this 1990. Yesterday I talked about in the archives about the fire that happened.
Right.
There was a house fire where somebody died. Well, here we go. In fact, I was going to tell you a little bit more about that. Remind you about it. It was a house explosion on Highway 90, and this in the next edition, Mary Magdalene Shelton, age 74, dies from burns suffered in last Friday's explosion.
Whoa.
Bless her heart. That sounds very painful. Very, in other words, looks like she lived for several days, but she died from the injuries. That was in 1998. She was the age of 74. Also, in 1998, Eastern Elementary School is going to reopen on Wednesday after being closed since the big tornado damage of the school last week. And also, the Glasgow City Council, it's noted this day in 1980, is going to once again consider warning sirens. Now, right after you've had fatalities, right after you've had schools closed down by tornadoes, things of that nature, it seems high time to start considering the warning sirens.
I mean, it says once again, so that means they talked about it before and took no action.
I think they've been, I think that it had come up a few times, but now they're going to get it done, and they did there in 1998.
Good, they finally did.
And
it drives me crazy.
Yeah, and it was in other words, it's kind of neat to hear them on the first Saturday of each month testing and working right. I make sure I can hear it wherever I am.
There you go.
2008, this was the day that it was announced that Caverna Hospital is going to become a smoke-free campus effective June the 5th. So you were counting it down.
Right.
Coming to Caverna Hospital, you don't need to be smoking after June the 5th because it's going to be a smoke-free campus.
There you go.
That's the way it happens in the archives today. We look back 100 years, and we see that things are in good order.
So here's something neat. I just heard from Michael Hale. He was at the house that exploded.
Oh, he was?
I might try to get some more info from him today.
I mean, that was. I'm sure that was a. I'm sure it's very much in his memory and very much a life-changing event for anybody that was anywhere near it. So that's pretty neat.
Have to get a hold of him and find out the rest of the story.
The rest of the story it is. We know now that part of the rest of the story was that Ms. Shelton lost her life. 52 degrees, 654 at WCLU. Thanks to the sponsors of the archives, Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services, as well as being brought to you by the Tony Hogan Health Clinic.
Diligent, efficient, experienced, knowledgeable. These are all words that describe Helena Chase Birdwell and what she would bring to the office of Barron County Clerk. So what does that mean for you? Convenient, fast processing, more hours of operation, a more user-friendly website, and quality service. On May 22nd, vote for the candidate who puts into action what she promises. Vote Helena Chase Birdwell for Barron County Clerk. Paid for and authorized by Helena Chase Birdwell for Barron County Clerk.
Are you looking for your dream home or perhaps dreaming of your first home? Then come see me, Gay Parker at Citizens First Bank. As a KHC top lender for 2 consecutive years, I specialize in government and conventional home loans. For 37 years, I have helped the homeowners of South Central Kentucky. Now, let me help you. Stop in at our West Cherry branch in Glasgow or apply online at citizensfirstbank.com. Finance your dreams with Citizens First Bank.
Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Who will be the future face of Pedigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley.
And I'm Daniel Bird.
And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pettigo Lesenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
WCLU, 52 degrees. Let me tell you about some things that you need to know about heading into the weekend right here. Of course, here we are on Thursday, and looking forward to a nice weekend. The Heistville Masonic Lodge number 320 Bean and Cornbread Dinner and Auction is this Saturday, April the 28th. Beginning at 4 p.m. with the auction at 7 p.m. at Heistville Elementary. Local candidates will have an opportunity to speak at 5. First responders and EMTs eat free. All the proceeds go into the Heistville Elementary School. The Avenue Church at 315 Columbia Avenue is hosting a children's clothing giveaway for school-age children ages 3 through high school this Saturday morning starting at 9 o'clock. Continuing until noon, signs will be posted. And the Highland Elementary Junior Betas Run for the Roses is coming up on Saturday, May the 5th at 7:30 a.m. Kickoff Derby Day with our Run for the Roses 5K run and walk. Runners, we'd love to see you in your fanciest derby hat and attire for the race. Now, also coming up, there's going to be a race at 8:30 Houghton Southgate Plaza. In order to receive a complimentary race shirt, you have to be entered by tomorrow. So get entered and enjoy being a part of those festivities.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by South Central Bank.
Some of the greatest destinations are within arm's reach, which is why South Central Bank's Green Tree Travel Club is arranging a trip to My Old Kentucky Home and My Old Kentucky Dinner Train. Save the date of May 31st. That's when the Green Tree Travel Club will have a most enjoyable journey to Bardstown, Kentucky, and a visit to this historic 200-year-old mansion that is Kentucky. Also an excursion on My Old Kentucky Dinner Train. 3 dining cars set up for exquisite fine dining as the train travels along the 29-mile track. The cost for Green Tree Travel Club members is just $116 per person, $145 per person for non-members. Call the RSVP line today to get on board. 888-651-7466. May 31st, travel to My Old Kentucky Home and My Old Kentucky Dinner Train in Bardstown. Another travel treasure from the Green Tree Travel Club at South Central Bank. Member FDIC.
Boy, it's going to be a tough forecast here today. There's going to be a cutoff from where we get showers and where we get some steadier rainfall. Right now, looks like we are going to get at least some steady rain, but as you go just north, it may be more like showers or light rain as we get into this afternoon. Starting to see those showers come in from the south-southwest this morning, and then mid to late morning and especially this afternoon, probably some steady rainfall for most of us. You head just north, and there'll probably be less rain. You head south, there'll be some steadier rainfall. Low 60s. We break up the clouds tonight. Fall back to 41 degrees, so probably back to the jackets tomorrow morning. Sunglasses in the afternoon. A few clouds around with sunshine and near 70, so I got to imagine many jackets might be left at school tomorrow. Saturday, sunny, low 60s. Sunday, plenty of sunshine, low 60s. Now, the overnight lows over the weekend are going to get chilly. Mid to upper 30s, but then a nice warming trend as high pressure settles in for Monday and Tuesday. Low 70s and sunny Monday, upper 70s on Tuesday, and we could crack 80 by Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. 92% humidity, calm winds, 29.86 is the pressure. And no precip out in the past 24 hours, but I think some may be on the way a bit later on this afternoon. Not seeing anything out there right now, but we're going to be keeping an eye on it for sure. 52 degrees. The weather brought to you by South Central Bank.
Growth begins with an idea. At the People's Bank, that idea is to give you the banking service you deserve. We carry out that idea in everything we do. In fact, it's become our motto, working for you. As that idea continues to grow, let us work for you at our new location, 1300 West Main Street, opening this summer. Let us be the place where your ideas begin, where you get the banking you deserve. Come grow with us. The People's Bank, working for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Check out the deals at Gillihy Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
During Ram Truck Month, you can get up to over $10,000 off the factory MSRP on a new 2017 Ram 1500. Or choose up to $8,000 off on a new 2018 Ram 1500. Gillihy is also offering up to $7,000 off on the new 2018 Ram 2500.
If car shopping makes you nervous, come to the home of legendary service.
TJ Sam. WCLU is going to be broadcasting live right there at Bluegrass Sailor in Glasgow, celebrating that 27th birthday. Now, here's the deal. This is so simple. Everything in the store is 27% off. That's right. Phones, accessories, whatever it is, there's a 27% discount on everything at Bluegrass Sailor as a part of this big celebration. And we look forward to seeing you out there this afternoon. We're going to be here from about 4 until about 6 o'clock. And they have, I was out there yesterday. They got a lot of stuff they're going to be giving away, several giveaways. And the staff is like thoroughly excited about it too. So as a part of your Thursday afternoon, come by and visit Bluegrass Sailor, the location on the bypass at Grandview Avenue. Sarah Poland has a birthday today. Happy birthday, Sarah. Trivia next.
TJ Sampson, providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local health care provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
BR Tire. We're always on call and we answer the call. We know that's what keeps our loyal customers coming back season after season, year after year. With so many vying for your business, improving our service is not just a good practice, it's a necessity. From our easy to navigate website to our easy to deal with service department, we work hard to make it easy for you to choose us. No one keeps you rolling like BR Tire on Lovers Lane in Bowling Green and West Main Street in Glasgow.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard
breakfast. Starts at 6 in the morning, ends at 10 in the morning. What a great day for pancakes. It's $5 for adults. Going to be held out at the Ritter House on North Jackson Highway. Glasgow Lions Club appreciates your support. Includes pancakes, sausage, coffee, and juice. 6 till 10 Saturday.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather around your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
The university scientists have long hypothesized, where does the magic man get his magic? The phenomenon that is the magic man is considered one of the great wonders of science. Truth be told, there is no science greater than magic. And that's why the mystery remains.
Hi, I'm Eddie Bruner, and yes, technically I am the magic man, but there's no magic to it. It's honesty, knowledge, and paying the best prices I can pay.
Welcome
to Long John Silver's, home of our new $5 Real Deal box. Dive into our wild-caught, 100% Alaskan whitefish, natural cut fries, hush puppies, dessert, and a drink.
Long John Silver's is putting burgers on notice with our hand-battered and fried to perfection Alaskan whitefish sandwich, fries, Cinepuffs, and a drink for just $5.
It's our $5 Real Deal box. Because at Long John Silver's, you deserve more.
The $5 Real Meal Deal is the real deal. Long John's, Glasgow, and Cave City.
7:06 at WCLU. I got to tell you about our person of the day. It's Jackie Knuckles Day on the radio. That's right, Jackie Knuckles. Now, Jackie has a birthday tomorrow. She was nominated to be Good as Gold, and here's the reason for the nomination. And I'm reading from the box here on the submission form. This unique and hardworking yet fun-loving young lady is celebrating a milestone birthday on Sunday, April the 29th. There's a hint here that says she was born the same day as Jan of the Brady Bunch. If you know how old Jan is, then you know how old that Jackie's going to be. The gang thinks that Jackie is good as gold, and they want to wish her a happy birthday. May it be as special as she is. Now, that's a wonderful thing to be said about you, Jackie. You've got some folks in there who are just thoroughly looking forward to the celebration of yours and Jan from the Brady Bunch's birthday, which is going to be on Sunday, April the 29th. So if you're happy, with pat her on the back and tell her she's good as gold from her friends here at WCLU, and a little taste of Texas. Now, I've played the Long John Silver's commercial, and all I really need to do now is to tell you what the question is so that you can call up and hopefully win. 651-9149 or 800-956-1023. In what country can you find a city named Batman? Yeah, we were talking about Jan from the Brady Bunch. Now we're talking about what city is it that you can find, or rather what country is it you can find a city named Batman. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Where were you born? Batman. What country was that in? Hello, trivia.
Sweden.
Not Sweden. What country is the city of Batman in? Who knows? Where's some of our world travelers out there? 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Trivia.
Turkey.
Say it again.
Turkey.
Correct. And who is this?
Jesse Brown.
And so what do you know about that, Mr. Brown?
Not a thing.
Okay, well.
I just Googled it.
You're an honest man. Well, have you heard the theme song from the city of Batman, Turkey?
Well, I've heard the theme song from the TV show Batman.
Does it sound like this right here, does it?
I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't? Well, let's see here. I'll fix it to where you can. But anyway, it's the Batman theme from Batman, Turkey. It's interesting that in reading about this, and you ought to read some more about it, but it's interesting that the city of Batman in Turkey actually tried to sue Warner Brothers for using the name Batman in their famous movie and television show. I don't know. Obviously, that could have helped out the economy for sure, but I don't think they got very far on that, Mr. Brown.
Be interesting to know if the city was there before the comic strip.
I think most things in Turkey were there before such things as comic strips.
I would think so.
All right. Well, you've won trivia. Have a good day, sir, and we look forward to seeing you out at Long John's, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Jesse Brown. That's right. It's there is a town named Batman. It's in the country of Turkey, and if you didn't know that, hadn't been there yet, I'm sure you can book a travel agent to get you over there. and we'll play tomorrow, thanks to Long John's A&W. And one of us a Long John's in Batman Turkey. Might be cool to check that out, too. We'll play tomorrow, won't you?
CBS News Update. Democrats on Capitol Hill have released a new list of allegations against the president's nominee for Secretary of Veterans Affairs, White House physician Dr. Ronnie Jackson. Ranking Veterans Affairs Committee Democrat Senator John Tester.
We've got military people that came to me and said, we've got a problem here. And we have to follow up on that as a Senate.
CBS's Ed O'Keefe on just what the claims are.
They include examples of Jackson creating a hostile work environment, accusations of excessive drinking, including one instance where he wrecked a government vehicle. Jackson directly denied that. And he allegedly improperly dispensed medications like the sleep aid Ambien and the opioid Percocet.
Chief White House correspondent Major Garrett.
Officials here acknowledge that this process may prove too brutal and Jackson's path to confirmation so uncertain he may yet withdraw.
CBS News Update. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
This is WCLU Glasgow, WCLU FM Munfordville, W253BN Glasgow, services of Royce Radio Incorporated.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good, he'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Who will be the future face of Pedigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley.
And I'm Daniel Bird.
And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Lessenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lessenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lessenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
There are exciting things happening at Jackson Health and Wellness Clinic. This is nurse practitioner Brittany Jackson, and yes, the moving and unpacking are complete. Everything is set up, and we are ready to start taking care of you and your family at our new location, 1214B North Race Street. We are so excited for you to come see our new facility on the corner of North Race and Professional Park, directly across from TJ Sampson Hospital. We have bigger exam rooms, more parking, and even some new faces. Samantha and I want to introduce you to our new office staff, Kim Fogel, who will be the voice you hear on the phone when you call and who will assist you with scheduling appointments and requesting refills. Even though our location has changed, what has not changed is our commitment to personal, individualized care for our patients. Our motto is hometown healing, and that is one thing that will never change or be compromised. Our phone number is still the same, 270-629-6722, and our door is always open for new patients. Jackson Health and Wellness Clinic. We are looking forward to seeing you at our new location, 1214B North Race Street in Glasgow. Call today to set up your appointment.
WCLU local news time is 7:15. We have a temperature reading of 52 degrees. Could have some rain a little later this afternoon. We'll check in with Ray Stasiak a bit later on in this newscast. But let's go to the WCLU studio where we have some guests in the back room with Angela Briggs, our news director. Angela, you want to tell us who's back there?
Absolutely. I've got two very special guests in the studio this morning, Barron County Sheriff Kent Keene and the Sheriff's Office newest deputy, Mr. Tommy Fields. How are you all doing this morning?
So far, so good.
Now, Sheriff Keene, I know there had been a lot of talk about adding a school resource officer to Barron County Schools.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Paul Matthews approached several weeks ago. We've been in discussion for several weeks, probably months, about adding SROs and trying to get SROs to the elementary schools. And Bo and I kind of struck an agreement. He was sponsoring SRO, so we were able to get Tommy on board, and he'll be touring the elementary schools. We're doing some training now, and when school's out, Tommy will be off, and then we'll start again in August. Tommy will mirror the school schedule.
Now, Tommy, you're such a brave soul. You have some law enforcement background.
I do. I have a little over 37 years in law enforcement.
So a couple of years anyway.
A couple of years anyway, and at least I've added to the age limit of the sheriff's agency now.
But, you brought the average up.
I did bring the average up, but Ken had approached me a couple of weeks ago. In fact, he called me at home and wanted to know, said, can I come by and see you? Of course, I was mowing at the time, and I thought, well, what have I done?
Right.
So anyway, he came over and he, approached me, would you be interested in being a school resource officer for elementary schools?
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, I've never thought about it, but I think that might be something interesting. So, and I'm, my background, and I like being around kids, especially younger kids.
Such a brave soul.
It's
such a brave
something
soul.
else. And so anyway, I thought about it and talked it over with Chrissy, and so here we are.
So now, Kent, what about Tommy made you think of him as a school resource officer? Was it his experience? Was it his personality, his demeanor, his involvement in the community, or was it everything?
Well, a lot of those that you just mentioned. Obviously, I needed somebody with some law enforcement experience because Bo and I had talked about trying to get somebody in pretty quickly. The elementary format is a little different. It's a whole lot of a patrol type, visibility type situation. And as you know, we have SROs in the high school level, a little bit more active in different type cases there. So that many of the things that you explained were some of the reasons why I brought Tommy.
Right. Because, I mean, heaven forbid something happened. It's that type of training that will help him be able to react no matter what could happen in the school.
And we've got a lot more training to come, as you and I have talked. We've got the training simulator coming in May, and we'll try to get all the deputies through that and do some exposure with that. So.
I shot a guy with a stapler 9 times when I went through the simulator.
I'm not surprised.
Nobody's going to give me a firearm anytime soon. So now, Tommy, you guys have visited some elementary schools yesterday. You guys are going to be back out and about today?
Yes. Yesterday we were at the high school a couple of different times, and we went to 3 elementaries. And of course, which I didn't think about until a week or so ago. There's 7 elementary schools in Barron County.
So you've got a long tour today.
We got a long tour. So I think we're about hit up the other 4 elementary schools today, and then maybe back to the high school time or 2.
And kids buying your lunch, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you all so much. Sheriff Kent Keene, Barron County's newest deputy, Tommy Fields, who's going to be the school resource officer. Thank you both so much for coming by.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Growth begins with an idea. At the People's Bank, that idea is to give you the banking service you deserve. We carry out that idea in everything we do. In fact, it's become our motto, working for you. As that idea continues to grow, let us work for you at our new location, 1300 West Main Street, opening this summer. Let us be the place where your ideas begin, where you get the banking you deserve. Come grow with us. The People's Bank, working for you.
Galaxy S9 or S9 Plus. Restrictions apply. Join the party.
Check out the deals at Gilly Hot Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. During Ram Truck Month, you can get up to over $10,000 off the factory MSRP on a new 2017 Ram 1500, or choose up to $8,000 off on a new 2018 Ram 1500. Gilly Hot is also offering up to $7,000 off on the new 2018 Ram 2500. If car shopping makes you nervous, come to the home of legendary service.
With you.
Connect with us at your nearest Bluegrass Cellular location. Or
TJ Sampson, providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local health care provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
For what happens next. And that's where we come in at ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance. Next. So just ask us. We'd be honored that you did. Just give us a call at 651-8837. We're ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance Agency, growing with a proud community since 1902.
Coming back season after season, year after year, with so many vying for your business.
In more local news, a recent session of the Barron County Grand Jury has returned several indictments. 24-year-old Travis Wayne Wilson of Glasgow was indicted for criminal mischief and possession of synthetic drugs. 25-year-old Levi Paul Poor of Glasgow was indicted for 6 counts, receiving stolen property, criminal mischief, public intoxication, and 3 counts of criminal attempt to theft by unlawful taking of a firearm. 40-year-old Jessica Thayer Seaford of Glasgow was indicted on 3 counts, DUI, possession of a controlled substance, and drug paraphernalia. 28-year-old Gregory Juarez Ford of Horse Cave was indicted on 5 counts, trafficking in a controlled substance, trafficking in synthetic drugs, tampering with physical evidence, drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, and persistent felony offender. 29-year-old Vigil Thomas Pointer of Hardyville was indicted for 3 counts, burglary second, theft by unlawful taking, and persistent felony offender. Remember, an indictment is an accusation only, and all individuals should be considered as innocent until and unless proven guilty in a court of law. If you were listening to the scanner yesterday, or if you were driving by Caverna High School, you may have wondered what was going on around back. Well, they were having a mock crash. The mock crash shows students exactly what would happen in the event that they were texting and driving or drinking and driving, and they had a car accident. Kevin Pointer was the driving force behind the event.
We want it to look as real as possible because, you know, if we make a change in one kid's thinking of, you know, I've done this before, I've texted and drove before, you know, never have had a problem. If we can make the change in one kid's life, just like today, you know, we've got one deceased, one patient, or person that's playing deceased, and, you know, the reason of her fatality was, as you can still see, the hand is still holding onto the cell phone, because she was texting and driving. Yes, we had we had another patient that was drinking and driving, and he is getting to go to jail because of his thinking. You know, I've done this before. I've been drinking and driving, but today it's costing somebody's life.
That individual that went to jail during the mock crash was Anthony Linder. He's a senior at Caverna High School, and he was one of the drivers. He said the mock crash is not only good for young people, but it's a good reminder for everyone.
It's a lesson that should be taught to everybody, parents, adults, teenagers. Everybody shouldn't text or drive or drink and drive. You never know the possibilities that can be outcome.
After hearing from many first responders, students walked out to the back parking lot of the high school, and they were on the scene of a crash. The students saw every single step of what would happen should the event have been real, including the ambulances and law enforcement arriving, as well as a hearse, the paramedics, the ambulance drivers, and Friday test was no joke.
No, it was hard. It was really hard. Even though I was not drinking, it was hard to pass. I'm not going to lie.
State Police, the Horse Cave Sheriff's Office, the Horse Cave Police Department, Cave City Police Department, the Barron County Sheriff's Office, Barron Medcalf EMS, Aravac, along with the Cave City Volunteer Fire Department and Glasgow Volunteer Fire Department were on the scene, as well as Alvy's Towing and Bob Hunt Funeral Home. State police investigated a single vehicle collision that resulted in a fatality yesterday. 16-year-old Brianna Gross of Albany was driving a 97 Chevy eastbound on 738 when she dropped off the right side of the road. She overcorrected, crossed back over the road, ran off the left side, and struck a fence. The vehicle then overturned and rolled several times, causing Gross to be ejected. She was pronounced dead at the scene by the Clinton County coroner. Bowling Green police received a call of a burglary which occurred in the overnight hours of April 23rd into the 24th. The victim told police that some self-storage units on Old Louisville Road had 4 units in which the locks had been cut off and the items stolen. Officers viewed the surveillance cameras and saw a black pickup truck enter the fenced-in area and access the units. Utilizing their business records, officers found that Chris Hagan had used a code to enter the storage facility. The officers attempted to make contact with Hagan at his father's address but didn't get a response. When officers were knocking on the door of his dad's house, they saw 2 men crouching next to a black Dodge pickup truck that resembled the one from video surveillance. When the men saw the officers, they ran inside the house. In the bed of the pickup, officers could see a gun case and partially covered bolt cutters. They immediately began the process to get a search warrant. Officers attempted to make contact with the man inside the house, but no one answered the door. After several hours, 8 people exited the house. Officers then served the search warrant on the truck in the house. Many items were recovered along with numerous stolen firearms. The investigation, according to Bowling Green Police, is ongoing. They expect more charges for some of those arrested. Arrested at the scene were 32-year-old William Christopher Hagan, 29-year-old Brian Wilkins, both of Bowling Green, each charged with burglary. Hagan was additionally charged with 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. 6 people were served with outstanding arrest warrants. And a motion to disqualify Kentucky Attorney General Andy Beshear's office from pursuing the lawsuit he filed to throw out the pension reform bill was denied in Franklin Circuit Court. Steve Pitt, the counsel for Governor Matt Bevin, sought to disqualify Beshear in his office because he had sent a letter to each legislator warning them that Senate Bill 1, the original pension reform bill, would be subject of lawsuits. After the revised version, Senate Bill 151, was signed, Beshear filed suit. Now, Assistant Attorney General Latasha Buckner replied to Pitt's argument, saying in the letter to legislators, the Attorney General was very clear that he's the people's attorney and was warning the General Assembly. He was doing his duty to the Commonwealth, not political offices. Franklin Circuit Judge Philip Shepard told Pitt, "It seems to me a little bit that you're trying to force a round peg in a square hole regarding a conflict of interest by the Attorney General." Proceeding forward, Beshear's office will file their main brief in the case later this month. The defendants have another month to file their briefs. Then the Attorney General has time to file a reply. A hearing on the merits of the case will be held in June. And the Barron County Sheriff's Office responded to an overturned tractor trailer near the county line on Kentucky Highway 90 East on Burkesville Road. The overturned tractor trailer was hauling charcoal from a local manufacturer. The wreck shut the road down for several hours. The driver of the vehicle, according to the Sheriff's Office, was uninjured. The Barron County Emergency Management, Barron County EMS, Summershade, Volunteer Fire Department, East Barron, and the State Highway Department all assisted. With WCLU Local News, I'm Angela Briggs. It's 7:28 a.m., 52 degrees.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Jerry Bloom. A Kentucky judge has denied a motion filed by Governor Matt Bevin to disqualify Attorney General Andy Beshear from a pension reform lawsuit. Our Suzanne Duvall has the latest.
The Franklin Circuit Court judge says because there's a sense of urgency in the case, he denied the motion, saying Beshear acted ethically. But Bevin's attorney Steve Pitt tells WKYT Beshear disqualified himself when he gave legal advice to legislators before suing them on the same subject matter.
It was too late for him to go back at that point in time. This is not like Skyline chili. You can't have it 2 or 3 or 4 ways.
An attorney on behalf of Beshear argued he was acting within his legal capacity. Beshear filed the lawsuit arguing the pension law violates the state constitution. I'm Suzanne Duvall.
1 dead, 2 others injured, including a KSP trooper in Henry County.
Kentucky State Police Trooper Mickey Gonerman was called on a report of dogs running along I-71. Trooper Stephen Dyke says 2 trucks were forced to slam on their brakes to avoid a crash when
the caller and Trooper Gonerman were struck by the trailer of the box truck, pinning the caller and causing Trooper Gonerman to fall approximately 30 feet from the bridge.
The caller, John Crawford, was pronounced dead on the scene. Trooper Gonerman was taken to a hospital with critical injuries, but has since been upgraded to stable. I'm Haley Hansen.
We're learning who's responsible for the replacement sign in the Capitol Rotunda proclaiming Jefferson Davis as a patriot, hero, and statesman. The white nationalist group, identified as Evropa, says activists put the placard on the statue of the Confederate president Monday to protest a plaque that was removed from it last month after a vote by the Historic Properties Advisory Commission. I'm Jerry Bloom.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
BR Tire. We're always on call and we answer the call. We know that's what keeps our loyal customers coming back season after season, year after year. With so many vying for your business, improving our service is not just a good practice, it's a necessity. From our easy-to-navigate website to our easy-to-deal-with service department, we work hard to make it easy for you to choose us. No one keeps you rolling like BR Tire on Lovers Lane in Bowling Green and West Main Street in Glasgow.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather round your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
The university scientists have long hypothesized, where does the magic man get his magic? The phenomenon that is the magic man is considered one of the great wonders of science. Truth be told, there is no science greater than magic. And that's why the mystery remains.
Hi, I'm Eddie Bruner, and yes, technically I am the magic man, but there's no magic to it. It's honesty, knowledge, and paying the best prices I can pay.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good, he'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy.